Hello.
everyone. How are we doing?
Good.
Good. You got your tan fully engaged.
Yes. Look
Love
at
it.
that. Look at that.
That is
Look at that.
golden
Oh,
gold.
you've traded Dan for me.
That's essentially
What's happened?
That's what's happened. I don't know where Dan is, so I hope he's all right.
Yeah.
I haven't heard anything from him since last week, but
Okay.
he did say he would be here. He did say I'd see you next week, so who knows? He'll turn up, I'm sure.
Yeah, exactly.
We'll invite him in when he comes in. But yeah, for now, it's just going to be me and Jordan. But
Okay.
we've got plenty of stuff to talk about.
Yes.
So I think the first thing, I don't know how we don't talk about this,
Well,
the sub,
yeah.
old sub situation.
So, yeah. I mean, I think it's worth noting the time. Wow, it's 11:06, and I'm pretty sure that the oxygen runs out at 12:06. But like the whole 96 hours of oxygen thing, that was if no one panics and if they spend the majority of the time asleep.
Yes, yeah,
Which I just obviously you hope for the best, but I just can't see it. And also tragically, the technology needed in the submarine that they would need to go down to get them out. There's not enough time left to scramble that team. I'm pretty sure someone said that even a week wouldn't be enough, let alone 96 hours. And now, like, even if they're if they're on the surface and they're found, then they've got to get 17 bolts out of the door very, very quickly. But yeah, I think, I was watching something this morning and this ex-Navy captain guy was just like, yeah, it's over. It's over. So, yeah, I mean, there's lots of theories. I've been looking into it quite deeply. There's lots of theories as to what could have happened. One of the theories is that there was a hull breach and the submarine imploded, which, as awful as that is, they would have died instantaneously. And if they're not found in time, it's awful to say, but if it was me personally, I think I would have rather have died instantly than had to have been in that environment for 96 hours just to suffocate. So yeah, it's very tragic. It's very hard. But there's lots of question marks around Ocean Gate and the how the fucking submarine was built. You know, it sounds like they got some of the shit from like camping shops and that, and like secondhand. Or this is what I've read. So it's all allegedly, possibly made, but secondhand scaffolding, piping, and shit. Like, and then this guy who was in the Navy, either is still or was like, when I know obviously different budgets and that, but when the UK Navy builds a submarine, it's like, we know where every single bolt was manufactured, where it was first cast, where it went to, from the moment that bolt is created to the moment it is screwed into one of our submarines. We know fucking everything about everything that goes into our submarines. Like, whereas this submarine they're in was described as a kit car, basically. And it just blows my mind. Like that fucking controller that they're using, the Logitech F170, F710, right? It's like it's like a 30 quid shitty controller, right? Yeah. And they're charging £250,000 or dollars per person.
Yeah.
Like
at the very like bare bones level, it doesn't look great if you're spending 250 grand and you see someone turn up with a 30 quid controller that is literally determining the path of this submarine. So
there was a guy that was interviewed. He paid for a ticket, not for this voyage, but for a different one. And when he was shown how the thing was built, he demanded a refund. He's like, I'm not fucking getting in that. But apparently, this Titan, there were 3 cancelled voyages before this one, for fear of structural fatigue.
Wow, what on the actual submarine
On the
itself?
submarine that went down there, which is why they think it quite possibly imploded, because of if they're already thinking about structural fatigue,
Yeah,
and then they cancelled 3 trips and then went down there, like fucking hell, man. But yeah,
yeah.
it's absolutely fucking crazy.
Obviously, it's going to be, I'm sure, delved so deep into the details of what was said to the people who bought the tickets who were on board. Like, did they
Yeah,
know to the extreme the risks? For example, did they know about it not being able, or the fragility of the actual submarine itself beforehand? Did they know certain things about the materials that were used? And it's like all those things come into taking a
yeah,
massive risk anyway. It doesn't matter if you're going even underwater in the ocean. If you go in the ocean somewhere, even in a boat, there's risk because you're in the water, fucking miles away from anything
yeah,
else.
yeah.
But let alone going straight down into like a pressurized situation.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be. I'm sure there'll be a lot of fine, fine tooth combing through it, and
Fucking hell, yeah.
yeah,
I think they're about 950 miles offshore, and then 13,000 feet down, I
something
think.
like that. Yeah,
And yeah, the pressure down there is 350 times that of the surface. And if you were to somehow lay on the bottom of the ocean, it would be like a 100-story lead building being just laid on top of you.
Jesus.
So yeah, so it's not good at all. But yeah, it's fucking it's absolutely horrendous. I mean, even the little things. You're spending $250,000 each, right, to be given a Ziploc bag to shit in.
Yeah,
Like, I don't know. I get like I think like one of the guys on there is a billionaire explorer, right? I get it. You're a billionaire. You're probably bored, so you need things to do because you can literally buy
yes,
whatever you want.
mm,
That's that in itself, man. Like, just picture that for a second. Yeah, you're a fucking billionaire. You are a billionaire, and you were sat in a tin can stuck at the bottom of the ocean, and not a single penny of those billions can save you.
yeah,
Like, on the surface, you can buy your way out of basically anything, and you are gonna fucking die not being able to like your money cannot. That I think that's a lesson in itself. Do you know what I mean? Like, fucking hell,
yeah, yeah,
that is very dark. But Hole says, without sounding like an idiot, does the 96 hours or whatever number it is of oxygen still the time, even if they're on top of the water? Only, yeah, because it's a pressurized container. So that is
yeah,
what is inside that. So if they were on the surface, if they're not found in 95 hours, because it would probably take a while to get 17 bolts out. Well, no, it'll take a few minutes, won't it? But if they're not found in 95 hours and 55 minutes, they'll suffocate. And
yeah,
that is if they didn't panic, they remained calm, they didn't use up the oxygen.
yeah. So that the 96 hours is the absolute best scenario.
If you perfect stormed it and you just,
Yeah,
you everyone just remained calm,
yeah.
which I just can't see it. I just cannot see it
No,
at all. No
I
fucking
mean,
way. You're in a tin can at the bottom of the ocean in the pitch black.
and
Like,
also
fuck that.
you're not there's a child, or not a child, but a young person on board. I think it's
Yeah,
like a 19-year-old on board.
yeah,
Yeah, you can't expect. I wouldn't expect any of them to be like level-headed, to be honest, in that situation, let alone a 19-year-old. So
yeah.
yeah, it's going to be yeah, it's a horrible situation, and unfortunately, I do feel like they were doomed from the start.
Yeah, well,
Um,
this is what we don't know, because that could have, when they lost communication with it, that could have been the moment it imploded. So
yeah,
they could have been potentially dead for days. But yeah, it's just it'll be a case of finding it now. Which
yeah,
someone said, an expert said, it'll be like finding a needle in a needle in a haystack blindfolded, and the haystack is constantly moving because of the current down there.
Yeah.
So, like, I'm going to get my stories mixed up here. So I'm going to say both dates because I've been looking into this so much. Everything's kind of melding into one. But there was a submarine that imploded. It was either in 2005 or 2017. It was one of them. And I think 44 people aboard all died. And it took them a year to find the imploded wreckage of the submarine.
And that
So
we're talking about a submarine that was probably considerably bigger than this one.
Bigger, yeah, absolutely. So, yeah, this is like a 21-foot. This is essentially like a minivan. It's absolutely fucking, it's nothing. But so I reckon, I hope, obviously, I hope that there's a fucking miracle happens and they somehow in the next hour, they have to be on the surface. So basically, in the next hour, they need to be on the surface. They need to be found in order to have any chance of survival. If they're entangled in the wreckage of the Titanic, that's it. It's over because there's nothing that can go down there and get them in time, even remotely. So best case, I hope that they're found and they're found alive. But I also, for the families and that, I just hope that one day they're fucking found, but hopefully they're found. They're found soon. They're found soon. And as morbid as it is, I think if I was a family member and it goes past the oxygen time, I would pray that they find an imploded submarine, not just a submarine where they suffered for 96 hours. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
In fear.
It's the distress you didn't want them to feel.
Yeah, fuck.
96 hours of distress.
That, man. Yeah. That is horrific. So
it would genuinely probably be better if it did just
absolutely without a doubt. So yeah, it's absolutely it's an absolutely crazy story. It really is.
And as of yet, I haven't seen anything. I've got like a live update thing. There's nothing else that's been said. The last thing that I read they were doing is just got a shit ton of fucking ships all congregated in the area, searching different areas.
Yeah.
And it's literally the problem they can do.
Yeah, because the problem they have with sonar is sonar of the Titanic shipwreck, they won't be able to differentiate the Titanic shipwreck and the submarine.
Yeah.
Matthew Lloyd says, or asks, sorry, when do they run out of oxygen? They run out of oxygen in about 45 minutes time.
Again,
that's best case scenario. So chances are, even if they had like an hour of just like panic, then they're using up their oxygen rapidly. So it's just a very, very sad and tragic thing. But then extreme exploration is dangerous. That's the thing. But it doesn't help if you're in a fucking again, I'm just going off of articles that I've read, so I'm not making any claims. But if you go in a shoddily created, essentially, to quote someone else, kit car of a submarine to one of the most dangerous areas, it's not going to end well.
No. I don't know. I won't try and quote it exactly because I'll probably just completely fuck it. But the sentiment behind something that I'd read previously that OceanGate had said about innovation and trying to be like the first to be able to do this was the kind of sentiment they gave off was like, well, we don't want to spend too much time going through everything, every single detail to the highest possible standard. We want to be able to create something that works and be able to do it quickly and efficiently. And they were like kind of saying like the sentiment you got was it wasn't the most amazingly planned out thing ever. It was kind of a little bit of bodge here and there. Did it meet certain test criteria on certain parameters? And then if it did, it works. We'll try and use it. So yeah, that's the sentiment I got from it anyway. I don't know if that was what they meant, but when I read it, I was like, it just doesn't sound great. And this is way before obviously the incident actually happened.
Yeah.
So it may have changed. They may have completely redesigned it. I don't know, but it just doesn't look great.
There's going to be a fucking serious investigation into this company. But the thing, I mean, the guy at the top, the CEO, who would be held ultimately responsible, is in the fucking submarine.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, that is, it's absolutely fucked, isn't it? It really is absolutely fucked. But very, very sad and very tragic. It's, for all involved. But fuck me, man, a 19-year-old. That's so sad.
Yeah.
19 years is no life at all.
No.
So, yeah, that is absolutely tragic.
It's the allure of kind of the extreme expedition or exploration, but
the weird thing, from what I can gauge, it doesn't have a viewing window. So it's actually cameras, and they look at it on a screen.
Yeah.
So it's like, just the other side of this wall is the Titanic. It's like, well, that's great, but I could basically look at this from fucking the surface.
Yeah, I feel like that's probably. I'm guessing that is probably a safety thing.
Oh, of course, because they're that fucking far down. Yeah.
Yeah.
Last thing you want to see is a fucking crack emerge.
You could be literally like inches away from the Titanic, and you feel as though you may as well be on the surface looking at it because it's through a TV screen. But yeah, it's.
Rhys Davis hits the nail on the head without a doubt. He says the Netflix documentary will be coming out in a couple of years. I don't even think it'll take them that long. I think fucking by this time next year it'll be out.
I mean, if they really went balls to the wall, I think it'll be out the start of New Year. If they're really balls to the wall.
If they find the wreckage and the investigation is quick into, like, if this company is that much of a fucking shambles that just on the surface you can see how fucking negligent they are. If it doesn't require a couple of years of investigating, then yeah, I think. Jesus, Scott says Channel 5 are already working on one, apparently. There you go. Man. There you go. But yeah, it's it's absolutely horrendous.
I mean, I'm just looking at some pictures of it here. I'm going to put it on screen. I'm just looking at it. I'm like, this is just not. That's the inside of it, isn't it?
Yeah. It's an absolute fucking shambles.
And there's 5 people in there.
Yeah, see, so I believe, unless the viewing bit is behind the camera guy, I'm pretty sure that's the end. Like, that's the front behind that guy.
Yeah.
So you can't fucking see anything anyway.
Yeah, it's crazy. Fuck that. The idea to me, nah. I mean, I love the idea of exploring places, but the sea is somewhere I'm just not fucking around. I'm not. Yeah. I'm not willing to find.
I went on a submarine in Egypt, but we only went 25 meters down, and it was next to a coral, so you just like floating next to a coral. But the thought of rather than being 25 meters down, being I think it's 4,000 meters. Yeah, that's not the one.
No.
So, yeah, it's just grim. But it's going to be very interesting what comes out about this company, because the fact that in the space of 3 days, so much bad shit has come out about how fucking sloppy they are. But the thing is, it's not like, the crazy thing is, right? Even like 10 grand a ticket, I'd expect more.
Yeah.
There's the pilot, the CEO. So there's 3 people, no, 4, or is the CEO pilot in it? I can't remember.
I don't know. I know there's 5 people total, but
yeah, because there's a billionaire, there's a French explorer, and then there's the father and son. So maybe the CEO is piloting it.
Maybe, yeah.
Or maybe the French explorer is piloting it. I don't know. Anyway, let's say only the CEO went on there for free. You got $1 million. $1 million for this excursion each time, and it's made out of shite. Like, what the fuck are your margins? Why are you spending 30 quid on a fucking controller to navigate?
Yeah.
Like, what is going on?
I mean, I don't know what is the best form of way of controlling it. maybe a controller is good, but still, like I'm saying, at a base level, it doesn't look good. But you're spending 30 quid on a controller, you know?
Yeah, because surely like battery life, I know it's probably plugged in, but like reliability, stick build, things like this, very fucking important. Fuck me, it's important if you're playing COD, let alone if you're fucking going 13,000 feet below the fucking water.
Yeah.
Let surface. What? It's at the whole thing is just blown my fucking mind. You know,
It is crazy.
it's mad. It's absolute madness, and it's cost people their lives. You know, that's what negligence does.
I mean, just for reference, this is probably more expensive, but I can buy the Logitech F710 wireless gamepad for £42.60 on Amazon.
That's what I mean.
It's got a 4.3 out of 5.
Pretty sure it didn't have a satellite navigation on it either.
No, there's a lot of and when it comes to like locating it and keeping track of where it is, it's obviously being underwater is fucking hard. Like you can't just use the same sort of things you would do for stuff above the sea, but
no,
I mean it's just fucking it's literally that it seems to me it was built to fucking just go wrong. Like there was something there.
This feels
There's far
inevitable.
too much room in between the safeguards and then stuff that could exploit that and make it fail.
Yeah,
Craziness.
Yeah.
But yeah. Well, like we said, I hope obviously they get some closure to find it. I guess, but it is horrible.
It is. It's absolutely horrendous.
But moving on to a slightly happier subject, although there was a few weird stories that kind of lined up a bit, I suppose. With
yeah.
Your holiday in Egypt, how was that?
Yeah, Egypt was awesome. The average temperature was 39 degrees, which weirdly I acclimatized to by the end.
Okay, how long were you there for? Was it 10 days? 10 days.
Yeah. Yeah. So I got used to the heat in the end. Watched the Champions League final there. That was fun. There was a lot of Inter Milan fans.
Oh no.
Weirdly. So there was a shop in the resort, right, that sold fake football shirts for a tenner, and the quality is awesome. I won't lie. And I just thought, like, I'll buy a few to train in and that because you also got shorts with them, and I love shorts. So I bought I bought a Ronaldo Al Nassr shirt and shorts. Right, lovely. Then I bought an Egypt Mo Salah shirt and shorts, of which when I went to the restaurant, one of the restaurants in the hotel, the manager was delighted. He was shouting like Mo Salah, Mo Salah, and then he was like anything for Mo Salah, and like So I was literally treated like I was Mo Salah. It was insane, right? And like so, one of the waiters come over to me and he was like, "What drinks?" And so we ordered our drinks, and I was like, "I'll have a Pepsi, please." Waiter goes out to the back, comes back with like they've got the board on the hand, like with a Sprite.
Oh,
I shit you not. The manager sees this,
right,
intercepts the waiter and goes, "No, Mo Salah, Pepsi, Mo Salah, Pepsi," and then takes the tray. The manager walks through the back and comes back with a Pepsi, and he goes, Pepsi for Mo Salah. And I was just like, what the fuck,
Jesus
man?
Christ.
I'm wearing a £10 fake Mo Salah Egypt shirt, and this guy is treating me like a king.
That's what it does. That's what it does.
They adore him over there.
Yeah.
He is literally a god. And he was on holiday in Hurghada. He was on a yacht just off the shore in Hurghada. Nice. So maybe they, for some reason, thought I was Mo.
There you go.
So I bought, and then this was a bit naughty because I am a Leeds fan, but I do love Haaland. Obviously, I saw loads of Inter Milan fans, so I looked in the shop, and lo and behold, they had a Man City Haaland shirt. So I purchased that, 2 minutes before kickoff.
Jesus.
And because we were in the bar bit well before kickoff, so we'd reserved seats right at the front. So I walked through a massive crowd of sat down people in a Haaland shirt, just fucking sat down.
Wow.
And then Dan took a sneaky picture of me and put it in a fantasy put it in a fantasy football chat that we got. And my dad's in there, my cousins are in there, and they're all Leeds fans. And I have to say, when I saw the picture, I had the same feeling of that's just weird as when I saw Phillips in a Man City shirt for the first time. It just didn't register. It was like, that is just, it's almost like fucking MCU multiverse shit, where in a different universe, I was a Man City fan. It just didn't look right at all. But
Dan's here.
Dan's here. But yeah, so
hello.
in the end, I did let out a cheer when they won. But yeah, it was cool. It was cool. Hello,
Sorry,
Dan.
Ed. How you doing? You good?
Yeah, good. You?
Yeah, all good. Sorry, man. I just got caught up.
No worries.
No problems. No worries.
We discussed the so if you've got any thoughts on it, we discussed the Titanic sub.
I know, mate. Yeah, it's been
crazy, isn't it? I think they run out of oxygen in 30 minutes time.
Oh,
best case scenario, obviously, if they manage to reserve oxygen by not panicking.
Yeah. I've been thinking about it so much. But even when I saw it a few days, I just it's so bad. It's what a horrible situation. Just sitting down there waiting, and as well the fact that not that it matters, but like the guy's a billionaire, and it's just makes it more of a sting, isn't it?
That's what I said earlier. I said, the guy's a billionaire, and he's sat there, and not a single penny of his wealth can save him. Yeah.
It's oh man, yeah. It's just I like it. It's one of those things that just makes you think about like perspective and stuff. Just it's the waiting, isn't it? It's the waiting.
Well, that's what I was saying. As horrible as it is, like, if they don't get saved, I think if I was a family member, I'd have rather that the submarine imploded and they all died.
Yeah, because it's quick and instant, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's definitely gets you thinking.
Yeah, but I think literally, unless they're on the surface somewhere and they get found quickly, so they can get the 17 bolts out, and they manage to reserve oxygen, it's basically game over.
Yeah, it's not looking good at the current minute, is it?
Yeah. But apparently, it's 5:12 our time is the 96-hour point.
I just saw. I don't know whether it was true because it was a glance. A company the company are making a documentary about it, but releasing it in a couple like next week or something.
Yeah, someone said. Yeah, someone said in the chat that Channel 5 are working on one.
Like,
I thought they were making a documentary in response to this happening, but were they making a documentary on the actual voyage itself?
No, I think it's response to this happening, which is
that's quick, man.
I know. It's not even like it's not even finished.
No.
Yeah, because imagine you were making the documentary of this first voyage down to Titanic, and then it just goes to absolute shit. Do you keep rolling, or what happened? I don't even know.
I feel like it's captivated the world, and just the ironies in it as well. It's like it's the Titanic. I just imagine if they did sink and they're there and they can see the Titanic through their little viewpoint, and it's just thinking, what are we doing?
Yeah, was this is what we wanted, and this is,
and now we're going to be part of it. The Titanic's still claiming lives, like
it's insane, isn't it?
All these years later.
Yeah,
that is horrible. Just staring at the Titanic.
So if you're just about breathing air, you're just in a good position.
Yeah, absolutely.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, shame for them all. But I guess when you do that sort of stuff, and paying 200 grand for it as well, the experience.
Yeah.
But I mean, if obviously they will have to have an investigation into what's happened and why. If there is one person you probably don't want to fuck around with skipping corners on something he's paid 200 grand for, it would be a billionaire's family who have probably just lost their family member. I mean, that's going to be an incredible legal battle.
That Ocean Gate company are going to get fucked.
Yeah.
Because all the things that have already come out in 3 days. How negligent, how far they're skipping corners, how, all this sort of shit. It's just they are royally
the joystick
fucked.
things are big one, isn't it? The 30 quid on a joypad or whatever.
Man.
Logitech.
I was saying earlier, and I'm not making a joke, I'm being fucking serious. I wouldn't even like the reliability of that controller to play Call of Duty, let alone to take people to the bottom of the fucking ocean.
Yeah.
What on earth are they thinking?
It's
mad. It's absolutely crazy. It really is. But yeah, fucking tragic. It really is.
There's a lot of there's a lot of memes and stuff and going around.
There always will be.
Straight away. But
yeah. I mean, a lot of them do focus on the controller, which is, I suppose, a valid point. It is, why?
I doubt that industry. There's not going to be many people now bucking up for that, is there?
No. Well, I tell you what else though, which I think there'll be a legal battle of, is, and I'm going to say this in the sense that this is wrong, and so. Hang on, let me think about this so we don't get sued. Basically, because we haven't said this, but basically, loads of fucking articles and that, even though it's a Logitech controller, they're like, the Sony PlayStation controller. It's like, whoa, it's not. And so, like, Sony PlayStation put in the same fucking sentence as this, like, doomed submarine trip, and it's like, well, you guys need to be fucking careful. Like, it's so obvious that that's a Logitech. It's got Logitech fucking written on it. Why are you throwing Sony, who will sue you? Like, what are you guys doing? It's fucking like, whoa, you don't want to be doing that.
Logitech, again, don't want to get sued, but my experience, like, when you've had like the wireless stuff with the batteries, and it's always been a bit problematic. Do you know what I mean?
Well, they are like,
if it's got stuck on down, that's a problem.
Yeah.
If you got it plugged into your sub.
Yeah, it's why if you're charging $250,000 a ticket, maybe take $1,000 of that.
Yeah.
For a fucking navigation system.
Yeah. Even if it does the exact same job as the Logitech one, even if it does it exactly the same, it looks better. It doesn't look like you're cutting corners.
You just can't plug that in.
No, that's what I was saying. There was a guy who booked a ticket, not for this voyage, but for a different one, and he was shown that, and he was like, "Are you fucking joking? Give me my money back." And he got a refund. He's like, "I'm not fucking doing that."
Yeah. Fair play to that.
I'd be the same if I was fucking spending 10 grand. I'm like, you've taken the piss.
That's Logitech sells out of business, isn't it?
That's it. Logitech's in the mud. But I will say, I am currently streaming off of a Logitech Brio 4K camera, which is exceptional. But it costs 10 times more than that fucking controller did.
Oh, mate, mine's a Logitech.
There you go. See, look, they run the world.
I thought his camera was a bit shit. I'm joking. Okay. Oh god.
This.
What? What's going on?
Logitech are in the mud.
That's it. I mean, they're not like the most premium brand for normal use of their equipment. So why the fuck you take it?
Yeah, they are like the affordable, aren't they?
Yeah. I mean, I'm not proud saying I've got a Logitech webcam. I'm not flexing.
What camera are you using, Loz?
I have got a Elgato Facecam Pro.
That is good. That is nice.
It is crisp.
I found this camera improved when I got another light. So I have a light there and a light there. But
my camera thinks I'm on the sun.
The
white balance.
I'm literally, I can't figure it out. My curtains are shut. I'm pretty much sitting in the dark. Perhaps they're designed to like let as much light in as possible. I don't know.
Maybe. Have you looked at the settings?
Yeah, I've given up, mate. It's just me and Logitech are not getting on at the minute.
That's it. That's it.
not
They've got a lot of issues coming their way.
Yeah, I know I'm least of their problems, but
but you're still a problem. You're still a problem.
Yeah,
I still exist.
Yeah,
exactly.
I know you've got stuff going on, but
sort your cameras out.
It's I do need it looking into, please.
Yeah.
If you could.
Yeah, but they've got best case scenario 20 minutes, which is fucking horrendous.
Mate, I feel bad breathing air.
It's just fucking. But like you were saying, it shows like it gives you a fucking appreciation. You know what I mean? There isn't 96 hours limit up here.
Mate, I was chatting to
don't fucking go down there.
Chatting to a friend, and it's like, if I'm a billionaire, like you don't be getting on any subs. Even planes, I'm okay, but I'd be
rockets. Skip them.
Forget rockets.
This guy
helicopters. No, thank you.
Yeah. The billionaire that's on this submarine, he did the blue thing, the Amazon blue thing to space. I know. I just think if you can buy anything and any service on Earth, you will get bored. And you'll just be like, right, I need something that
some sort of
even millionaires don't want to do. I need like the billionaire shit. That's when they start like drinking animal blood and stuff. And,
I know they go for the extremes and the dopamine stuff, but then I think that's another twist with this. Is like people are like, one, you paid for it.
Yeah.
Two, you're a billionaire. Like you're. It's 200 grand, which can buy a house in some places, and it's like so. I think people are, although it is horrible. It's horrible, but I think that's why there's so many memes about it and stuff, because it's kind of it's like people, especially and they don't have a lot of sympathy, do they? No, that's the thing. That's what I was looking for. The sympathy factor in it is it's not as. But if it was like 5, say, like, I don't know, military people down there or whatever, then I think it'd be a different story.
But I would caveat. I know exactly what you're saying, but I would caveat that with, as far as I'm aware, right? Because obviously I have no idea who this guy is, but as far as I'm aware, well, I could be completely wrong, but I'm sure he's. I don't think he's a bad person. I haven't heard anything. There's nothing come out like, oh yeah, but this guy, he's got mines in fucking Uganda and blah blah. So as far as I'm aware, he's an all right. So he's just rich. You know what I mean? You don't deserve to die just because you're not that. You can have a little bit of sympathy just because you're.
The thing is, as well,
people have no sympathy.
Well, I don't care who you are. Well, if you've got £1 billion worth of assets, whatever, you have caused damage somewhere, because it's just the nature of life.
I don't think you can become a billionaire and not be dodged somewhere.
There's probably like
even Elon's family had the emerald mines.
They've all got some shit going on. There's all stuff somewhere that they've like, or even close associates too.
Yeah.
The stuff that
it's all there's only one route to the top. And it's with blood.
Yeah. It's true, isn't it? They say that even just being like a person in the UK, just normal, having like your phone and your clothes and that.
The cobalt mines.
You're related to slavery.
Yeah.
At some levels, just by it's like he's.
That's we don't know.
We don't know. We don't want to get sued.
No, that's it. But yeah. Research, did anyone hear that the son of the British billionaire, I think it's the stepson of the British billionaire, went to a concert to see Blink-182 while all this was going on? He got a little bit of flack for it, but said apparently that's what his family would want.
Right. Okay, I'm going to hedge my bets that this guy is not. If I'm at the bottom of the ocean and I'm fucking having my last breaths and my kids go to a fucking Blink-182 concert, like,
it was his stepson, so you never sometimes you're not my dad and all that shit.
It
could be one of them.
It's not my dad.
Well, he's a bad dad. He's either a really bad stepson or he's a bad dad.
I don't think I'd be able to rock out to watch my name again.
Rock out what? Rock out while you.
Where are you?
Yeah.
Unless he's just like, he might just be thinking, I'm about to get a shit ton of money.
Yeah. Wow. See, someone else said this the other day, but I just think, yeah, but you're already with a billionaire. Do you know what I mean? So it's like, you know, the wife's going to get a massive payout. It's like,
yeah, she's already living been
living the billionaire lifestyle.
Yeah, this is true.
You know, but then if she hated him, you know, who knows?
It's like one of those would you rather type scenarios, isn't it? It's like, would you rather like live as a billionaire, but then you got to,
that's
you
die
at this age at the bottom of the ocean before that, and it's like, it is messed up, man.
He was sharing pictures of a model too. Apparently, this stepson.
Oh,
yeah, he was celebrating. He was celebrating. This ain't good.
It just doesn't look good.
It's not a good look. No. Like, I'm not being funny. Even if you hate the guy, dude's got 96 hours. Just wait. Like, fucking hell, mate.
Oh, yeah. It's on the Blink 182.
Oh, yeah. You're sharing pictures of an OnlyFans model. That's it. It's like, I'm going to get your premium subscription.
So when it's his stepson, is it... it's not blood.
No.
Yeah, there's probably a lot more to the relationship that we don't know. But still.
He kind of looks like the kid who's on the submarine. But
we were talking about that, though. That is fucking tragic. A 19-year-old.
Yeah.
Being on there, that's awful.
Yeah. You kind of... If I was 19, I'd be thinking about the older ones, wouldn't you? Thinking, might be time for you to go.
I need this oxygen.
Yeah, it might have to bash your head.
That's the other thing. That is the other thing. Because I bet it would have got fucking tents down there.
Yeah.
You know.
Oof. So they just start clicking. You know, all the people that have paid for the ticket and the CEO who might be controlling the thing. It's like, that Logitech controller makes sense now.
Yeah.
You fucked us. You
imagine
base part of $1 million and you fucked us.
Imagine if it was just a controller problem. They just needed another controller. They just didn't.
Imagine if there was a fight of the survival of the fittest down there, right? They save the craft that comes up. One person's left in there. It's a bloodbath.
Yeah,
that person goes to prison for the rest of their life.
Yeah,
for murder. Man.
Yeah. I guess
there are some dark scenarios in this story.
Yeah, I hope they kind of do find them. I said I don't think they're not going to find them.
Well, there was a submarine. I think it was a Russian submarine a few years back. Had 44 people on board. It imploded, and they found it a year later. So I think they will find it. But it's just will it be soon? Or
definitely gonna be a film. If they're making a documentary, there'll be a film about it.
Yeah, you never know. It might be one of these stories where you unfortunately, because the world does just move on, you kind of forget about it, and then in like 6 years' time, it's like the Titan submarine from 2023 has been discovered. Blah blah. Yeah. And you're like, fuck yeah, do you remember that? Jesus. Yeah.
It will probably be exactly like that. I mean, it happened with the Malaysian airline flights. So
yeah. But fucking wild, absolutely wild. Speaking of wild stories, I know we were talking about just before you got here, Dan. We moved on to my holiday in Egypt. There's a few fucking tragedies. Dan kindly messaged me, actually, didn't you? Just to check that I wasn't one of them.
Yeah.
So there was a boat. I was on a boat similar to the one that had an electrical fire. And 3 Brits sadly lost their lives as a massive boat fire. The whole thing went up. Literally the beach down from where I was snorkeling, a young Russian guy was eaten by a tiger shark when I was there. I was literally there's pictures of me and Dan, my mate Dan, who I went out there with. We were snorkeling in this bay area, which literally the other side of the bay is where the tiger shark attack was. And what we did is we swam way out to be away from everyone else to see the cool fish. And we were basically the same distance out as this fucking guy was. And literally a day later, it's just like, fuck me, man.
Nah.
You know, it's absolutely crazy. But then we had a snorkeling trip booked for 2 days later. So we spoke to the guy who we booked it with, and we were like, look, is it safe? And he was like, basically explained that where we're snorkeling, there's corals. So the shark wouldn't risk, there's corals like that deep. But obviously you couldn't go down the side of the shelf and that. But he was like, the shark wouldn't come close enough, because if the shark comes close and cuts itself on the shallow corals, the moment the shark goes down, it then becomes prey.
Right, okay, yeah.
It wouldn't risk that.
Right.
So I was like, okay. All right. And then he was like, and the other thing, he's like, I've swam with tiger sharks. He was like, unfortunately, basically, this is awful, but this is just what this guy told me. He was like, basically, where this lad went wrong is he was thrashing about. And if a shark sees that, it sees it as injured prey.
Yeah.
So then it goes in and it takes a bite.
Yeah.
And then because it doesn't swim away, it's like, oh, yeah, this is injured prey. And then it goes back for the kill. But he was like, basically, he was like, as long as you don't thrash about and panic, all you have to do is hit it in the nose.
Yeah, yeah.
And so I was like, right, okay. So I was like, in my head, I was like, okay, so I can punch this shark. Right, that's one thing. All right, cool. And second of all, just swim onto the corals. Because the thing is, it'll fucking beach itself on the corals anyway.
Yeah.
So, wrongly or rightly, myself and Dan did the snorkeling, and it was awesome, I won't lie. You know, the fish were incredible. The corals were really awesome. And there were no sharks to be seen. But they also captured and killed that shark. Apparently, they have to do so because once a shark has killed or eaten a person, even though I would, you know, it's sad to me because it's just an animal doing
what it does.
Animal things. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's not doing anything. I know it's killed someone, but it's not doing anything wrong in its own nature. But it had to be killed because apparently then it gets a taste for human.
Yeah.
And so then you'd have a Jaws situation.
Yeah.
But yes, I mean, that was the shark thing in Hurghada, which was fucking mad.
Crazy. And well, to a less extent, he went on a submarine as well.
I did go on a submarine. Yeah, I went on a submarine. That but only went 25 meters.
Still, that is weird.
Yeah, the Sindbad submarine, which apparently is the only submarine in Africa and Arabia, is what it has written on the side.
It properly submerged.
Yeah, the whole thing goes under. And
did you hit the deck?
Did we what?
Did you hit the bottom?
You're about that far off the bottom.
Okay.
And then you're floating along. But yeah, I got some pictures in that. It's really, really cool. There's some cool fish. But yeah. So weird, like not in any way to fucking make it about me, but in the last 2-3 weeks, I've gone snorkeling where there was a guy snorkeling got eaten by a tiger shark. I was on a boat that later caught fire, and I was in a submarine. And I was just like, I'm just going to stay away from the ocean because I feel like I'm a bad omen at the minute. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I would agree.
Yeah. It's
You've been talking about the ocean too much, and
that's it. It's true. The ocean is fighting back.
That's it.
How many of you were on the sub?
Let me just try and picture it. Fucking hell, probably about 30.
30. Did they say? Because
let me see if I can find a picture.
Did they have an emergency if anything went wrong? Because obviously it's a pressure, so you can't even. Did they even say about it?
You just kind of sign a waiver and off you go.
Yeah, you wouldn't, because that's the thing. I mean, it's only 25 meters, but I guess it's easy to rescue. But if
you got Would you get the bends from 25 meters?
I don't think so.
Not majorly. You would. It would still. It wouldn't be great. You'd have to breathe out as you go up. But because of the pressure at 25 meters, you wouldn't be able to get out.
Yeah.
It's going to blur because I'm not in it. That's me. It's a bit blurry. That's me next to the window, but you can't see it because hang on. If I change my camera.
So I don't know how you would, unless they've got a procedure where they can flood it in and then equalize it, and then.
That's me looking at a fish out of the window. So basically, you had 2 seats next to each window, and there was just loads of windows. Yeah,
it'd still be. That's what I'm saying. They say like, oh, in the case of an emergency, like this will happen. Because you're still at a capsule like 25 meters down. Admittedly, it will have a limited amount of air and all that sort of stuff. So, I don't know. Is there another one to get if they've got something to get over there? I suppose you could winch it up potentially. I don't know. It's still a procedure, isn't it? Because imagine if that many people, it's going to be big.
Yeah, it was.
If you can't get it up,
unless they could have what actually the Titan submarine has, which is the buoyancy things where it just releases a load of weight.
Yeah, and then goes up. Yeah, or pushes some air out to the sides and goes up. Yeah, I suppose. Yeah, that's like it must have had some mechanisms.
Yeah.
Any Logitech controllers flying about?
Fucking, this is so basically the Bay Area that I was talking about. So you had the beach, and then it went way out, but there was like a stone kind of dock all the way around it in like an L shape, but you couldn't climb up. So we were literally like in the middle. But this is me, right? And Dan, that's me waving, right?
Yeah.
And probably 1,000 meters away. Less than that. Probably about 500 meters away from there is where the shark attack was.
Jesus.
So it's just fucking very silly.
Could you dive where the sub was? Could you snorkel? Imagine you snorkeling just in a massive submarine.
Yeah, no, I don't think so. It kind of you get a boat out, and then you get on. It's actually, to be fair, it's about 45-minute boat ride out, and then you get on the submarine, and then you go off.
So that is a little bit. I imagine people will be thinking twice about that now with all that's going on.
It'll definitely affect their sales. Like loads of people dropped out of the snorkel trip because of the shark.
They've had a right week. I bet they're thinking, "Fucking."
I bet they're livid. This is it's me stood next to a camel. Nice. Camels are fucking well tall. So they were. So basically, he was like, right. So you put your leg over, you hold on, and then if it stands up with its back feet, you push back. If it stands up with its front feet, you pull forward to counteract. Right. Yeah. I put my leg over. I hadn't even sat down, and the thing started to stand up. I was like, shit! Whoa! And then as it was walking along, I was like, this saddle is not tight, man. Like, and it just kept like flipping backwards and forwards. And I was like, I'm so high off the ground. This is gonna hurt.
Yeah.
So I didn't really enjoy the camel ride. I won't lie. It was a bit scary. But the quads, I did quad biking out there in the desert. That was sick. But yeah, fucking very hot.
What Dune buggies like?
Dune buggies were slow.
Slow.
Yeah. Shit, really. I didn't really enjoy the dune buggies at all. I'd have rather had another half an hour on the quad bikes.
Nice.
But but it was cool. We did some really cool excursions and that, which were awesome. But yeah, that was Egypt. Really, it was just nice to chill. There's a giant pelican that lived at the resort. That was scary.
They're huge, though, aren't they?
They are massive.
Yeah,
massive.
They never look real when they're just standing there.
Yeah, that was absolutely huge. Very, very scary creature.
What was the resort like?
Yeah, it was nice. Outside the resort, not so much. A bit scary. I was also surprised. Like Egypt is I think quite a poor country. And there's a lot of like building work that has just been abandoned, like a lot. Yeah. Like and basically every other building is abandoned. It's just like, whoa, holy shit. You know, did you manage to do the pyramids? I was thinking about it, but it was 5 hours each way to get there. So because we were in Hurghada, which is more south than Cairo. So
that's a massive commitment, isn't it?
Yeah.
Just a bit too far, and you need a night
in
over.
the heat as well. Yeah, in the heat as well, and there's no guarantee that the transportation that you have will even have aircon. So,
oh mate, no, fuck that.
Yeah,
and you're obviously going out of like the more touristy area into, I'd imagine, towards Cairo, isn't it?
Yeah,
isn't it towards Cairo?
Yeah, Cairo's Cairo.
Yeah, so that's just, I don't know what Cairo.
Apparently, the pyramids of Giza is like scam central.
I can imagine,
like people just trying to just do anything to get your money. But yeah, it was weird. Like it's very, very, very cheap out there. Like we got an Uber because we tried to walk to somewhere. Me and Dan did, and it was just too hot. So we got an Uber about 2 miles down the road, and it cost 14 Egyptian dollars, and 100 Egyptian dollars is £2.50. So it costs it costs like nothing. And then Dan was like, "I'm going to tip this guy," and so we spent 14 Egyptian dollars on the ride, and then Dan gave him a $200 tip.
Jeez.
Like, over 10, he was so happy. Like, but yeah, it was crazy.
I'd have just had him just on standby all the time.
Yeah, just give him 1,000. It's like, you're my driver now.
You can do that in Thailand. You can just pay someone like just, you're my man for the day.
Yeah.
And it's just like wherever I gotta go, not your own little chauffeur. It's fucking cool.
Yeah, isn't it?
Or not a chauffeur, a tuk-tuk.
Yeah.
I love cheap taxis, and adversely, I hate when you get somewhere like in Spain or whatever, and you just get, and you just see the meter, and it's like, you're like, it's so annoying.
Yeah, it is definitely. I don't know if there's like a destination tax or something in the UK, but when you're on the meter in taxis and then you arrive and then they push a button and all of a sudden like £3 added on. So hang on, what the fuck is that?
Those buttons, mate. I'm sure they've got one for like nice guy, dickhead.
Yeah.
Super dickhead. Yeah,
this is
getting this super dickhead tax.
Yeah, it's just fucking does me
funny,
in.
Mate.
It does do me in. But yeah, like when I went to Dubai, man, those Ubers were cheap as fuck as well.
Were they?
I think we in Dubai. I think we just get fucking stung over here.
I think we do. I think I think. Well, to be fair play to, I don't think it's not the cabbie's fault. It's just all the tax.
Yeah, of course. Yeah,
businesses and that. And I think over in other countries they just let them crack on.
Yeah.
Which is
Yeah,
seems like the better way.
Yeah, definitely.
And the price of fuel as well.
Yes.
Fuck yeah! Jesus Christ,
big one.
Price of fuel in this country.
Oh Jesus,
disgusting. I remember when I was driving, like when I first started, it would have been 2013. I remember I was like absolutely buzzing. I could get unleaded petrol for well under £1. I was like, and now, Jesus, you'd be lucky to get it for under fucking 140, 130.
Yeah. I filled up a big diesel truck yesterday. Oh my days. It was just, I was like, this is never ending.
Yeah.
Just like over 100 and it's still going. I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Please stop. Please be full.
Yeah.
I'll put a bit of water in to top it up.
Oh dear. But yeah. It's not good, is it? And what I hate now, I fucking hate it. And I've said it to a few people, not to be a dick, right? But when people are like, oh, petrol's cheap now. It's like, no, it's fucking not. This is the game they're playing, right? They put it up to like 190, and then all of a sudden when it's down to it's only 140. What do you mean it's only 140?
Yeah.
Like, think about what you're saying. Go back 2 years when it was £1 like fucking 10. If all of a sudden you were paying £1.40, you'd be like, what the fuck? Don't let them win.
But this is the thing, when they go, inflation drops. No,
it's constant.
It's constant. Yeah, we've raised, and we're raising again, but at a lower It's just not as heavy. It's still, but it's like nothing's dropped.
No.
You're just using a flash word.
Yeah. It's fucking, oh man.
It's still going up.
Does me.
Mate, I know we'll probably leave it on this, but I've just done my car insurance, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Do you take a quick guess how much it's gone up by from last year?
Well, you drive. Can we say what you drive?
Yeah.
I know.
You drive a Land Rover Evoque.
Yeah.
It should be expensive anyway. Is it Land Rover or Range Rover?
Range Rover.
Range Rover. What is it? Are they the same? They're not the same company, are they?
They're made by the same company.
Yeah, Land Rover, mate. Range Rover, yeah.
Right. Okay. So you're right. So it's gone up. Has it gone up by? Has it gone up by half? If that makes sense. So if it was £1,000, is it now 1,500?
No.
I'd say 30%.
No.
How more?
More. Yeah. So
What?
my last year's quote was just over 600 quid, probably like 630, 640, something like that for the year, right?
Yeah.
My new quote, 1,150 quid.
It's doubled,
mate. I was chatting to a mate.
What?
He's got a Range Rover at the pub after football last night, and he said so that there's an error that they can get through the lights now with Range Rovers. You can pull the light and get in, and this is happening loads. And he had the same. His insurance has doubled with his Range Rover, purely for that reason. And I don't know whether that's the same on the Evoque as well, but there's loads of Range Rovers. The insurance has gone through the roof because they're getting loads of claims through. They're taking the light out and then getting in. It's an easy, quick way to get in.
Yeah. Well, I've managed to negotiate down to £886.
That's a good negotiation, but it's still up.
But it's still like an extra 250, maybe 300 quid extra. You know what I mean?
And insurance should get down, shouldn't it? That's what I like. If you're not claiming,
I don't want to be a dick, but mine did go down.
Did it?
Yeah, for the first time in a long time.
Mine went up. Not by a lot.
Bearing in mind, I've been driving 10 years. No claims bonus for 10 years.
Yeah.
I've not claimed once. I've claimed for the windshield, which is...
I'm pretty sure no claims is just 5 years plus, though, isn't it?
After 5 years, you don't get as the discount doesn't help as much. But it's like, I'm not sat there going, have I had a claim against me that I haven't known about? Because that's the only explanation for my price going up, other than what Dan said, obviously.
Yeah, that's the...
fuck that.
So that's the trouble, is it's a combination of like those vehicles and the risk assessment. So if a load of those vehicles, say there's a recall or something happens, it's like I think in Fight Club, isn't it? If they do the analysis, and if it's like the cost of the recall is less expensive, they just deal with all the lawsuits.
Yeah.
So that's what I think. I'm pretty sure I'm not going to say all Range Rovers because, again, we don't get sued. But my mate was telling me the exact same story last night, so it was a bit of a coincidence.
Nice. I had to double check I put the information in correctly. I was like, I just said I'm trying to insure a Bugatti or something. Bearing in mind, I had a 207, right? The lowest I had on that was 230 quid for a year. Yeah. And that was probably 3-4 years ago now.
Yeah.
Crazy. You got Andrew Tate's Bugatti.
That's it. I've got about 4 of them. Got a green one, orange one, blue one.
It's probably going to be for sale when it's soon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he's already sold all this. I don't know.
No, they impounded them all.
Ah, that's it. Yeah.
They took all of them, all his watches, all his cars, all his money. 100 mil in crypto. Took all of that.
Wow.
Jesus took his crypto.
Took it. I mean, that you know they're after you when they take your crypto.
Yeah.
You can have mine at the minute as well. Fuck all.
Oh, what's Bitcoin doing? Is Bitcoin shit?
Bitcoin's all right.
That's gone up, to be fair, recently, but it did take a bit of a dive, didn't it?
Yeah, you can have my wax. Give it back when it fucking 20x's.
Yeah,
that's it.
Well, yeah. I hope they get found in the sub.
I do. It would be great if they did.
Well, the oxygen has now run out.
Yes, in the best case scenario, it looks like they may not be alive, but
unless they've already found them and haven't released it yet.
Yeah, all like you said, they're at the top of the ocean, floating around somewhere. That could,
but they're still sealed from the outside.
Oh,
so they have to be found. Yeah, they've got 17 bolts in the door.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
Oh well, that's a flaw, isn't it?
Yeah.
I suppose it is, isn't it? Isn't because if they panic and start fucking trying to open it, or somehow fucking open it when it's still underwater with pressure, they'll just die anyway.
Yeah.
That would be worse for me. I'd rather die at the bottom of the ocean than die at the top.
At the top, just waiting.
Yeah, I'd be so pissed off.
Yeah.
As a ghost.
I'd probably sink it. I'd probably just, if that was the case and run out, I'd like just sink it. I can't die at the surface. No. That's gonna.
But yeah, thanks for joining us, everyone, on that. Yeah, it's marginally cheery at some points, but yeah, we do obviously hope that they get found just for the families to get some sort of I don't know but you get it's finality. You
get some closure for it.
Yeah, but yeah, thanks for joining us up the APMA. We'll see you in the next one. See you later.